Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Good morning. It's the 19th day of May. The time here in Oxford Mills is 9:08 a.m. The animals have all been fed. It's raining outside, and that's a good thing on a farm in the spring. Not all the time, but on the farm it's a good thing. I was up early. I did my usual dance with Bell Canada, who try to interfere with my posting on the net. Got a post on there, and now I'm ready to get back to doing something I used to do quite often in the past. Haven't done any of this videotaping, especially without an audience, for about 10 years now. But at the request of my friends in California, Barbara and Frank, I am fulfilling a need. I'm told that there be some information sent out in a format such as this disc will be, that will allow a number of people to hear what I have to say. If you hear a little bit of noise in the background, it's because I'm in the RV and the rain is falling on the roof, and that may interfere or may not. We'll see at the end whether or not it does. This message that I have to hand out to anyone who's interested in watching has to be taken in the context that I'm not asking anyone to believe, without anything else but my word, what I'm about to talk about. However, I think if you have an open mind, you should receive the information, think about it for a period of time, go through it on a event-by-event occurrence, watch what happens on a day-to-day basis, and especially, like Barbara and Frank, if you happen to be in Southern California, it's very interesting that there is a relationship there to Pasadena and to Southern California. And it's basically a story about history that's not spoken about originally. Let me just say, to set the stage for this, that in 1987 to 1988, I began a journey to find out what life was really all about. I had had some difficulties with the government of Canada and high-ranking officials within the government that led me to file charges in a court of law against these individuals, charges based upon my belief that there was in practice in Ottawa a kickback scheme, and that the government had sent a cabinet minister to ask me for a bribe on the $160 million project that I had going at the time. Land had been purchased and financing had been arranged through large pension funds. this $160 million project would have been a city within a city type of place, demonstrating the technologies of communications. To make that long story short, when I refused to pay, and what they wanted was 5%, I was taken to court by my partners who tried to remove me from the project. However, I won in court, but the fallout from that caused the investors to reassess what they were doing, and the project died before it was completed. The land was sold by my partners to Bell Canada, and I began to suspect later on that maybe this arrangement to transfer a prime piece of real estate in the national capital to Bell Canada had been arranged before my entire activity on my project was approved, and my project was a means to an end for Bell Canada to end up in the end with the land they required for purposes that we'll discuss as we go along. In discussing this activity, I have to stop here and make a little personal comment, because certainly everyone who knew me and have known me for years as a businessman in a three-piece suit have seen changes occur in my demeanor over the years, not the least of which was my going to Parliament Hill in Ottawa and spending 1,000 days as what I described as an outdoor lobbyist, asking the politicians to stop stealing. The event eventually went to court, and 16 members of the government, including the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff, were formally accused by the courts with participating in a conspiracy that would defraud the Canadian people of a sum of money which I believe to be in excess of Canada's national debt. In any event, after the initial 10-year investigation and the dropping of the charges by the friends of the politicians in government, I became aware that what I was dealing with here in Ottawa was not solely restricted to Ottawa or to Canada, but was an international fraud